Hey YouTube, this is Should I Built coming to you with another video. We're going to discuss how I acclimated a molly I purchased from the pet store to saltwater. A lot of people think that mollies are freshwater. They're in fact a brackish fish. They can be acclimated for either environment. So here we go, we're going to go ahead and discuss how I've acclimated mine, which will be later added to the reef. The items I use for the process is a small container to hold the fish. This here is a small trash can I purchased from the dollar store. I use only for aquarium use. A small container for pre-mixed salt water. This here is a 2-gallon bucket. We'll also need something to drip acclimate. Here's some airline tubing with an airline valve. You could also tie a knot in the airline tubing if you don't have a valve, but this gives us a more precise drip rate. We'll need something to measure the salt content or the salinity. I prefer to use a refractometer. I have one around for the use with my reef. This gives more accuracy, but if you don't have one, you can also use a hydrometer. This will give you the specific gravity or the salinity as well. I also use some ammonia detoxifier for any ammonia buildup that may accumulate during the process, since the fish is being housed in a small container. I've put the fish inside the small container, along with the water that came from the pet store. I've also added a small air stone just to give some circulation and aeration to the water. You may be asking, wouldn't it be easier just to drip acclimate directly from the aquarium? And in this case, there's actually two good reasons why I wouldn't. One is because this fish will go into a quarantine tank, so dripping acclimate into my aquarium's water isn't that big of a necessity. All the fish I receive in will go through at least 1 month of good health in the quarantine before I release it in display. The second reason is I don't want a source of water which is larger than the receiving container's volume. Thus, if I were to fall asleep or miss an alarm on this long acclimation process, you could overflow the receiving bucket and get water everywhere, which would be a mess and nobody wants that. My plan is to do this acclimation over the course of an 8-hour period, or a maximum of about a day. I've seen everything from about 45 minutes up to a month of what folks have done online. Even in some emergency situations, I've read of folks throwing the fish directly in and that fish still surviving. But I'm going to play it safe, take about a day. Every few hours I'll go ahead and check the salinity of the fish's water and either speed or decrease the drip based on the progress of the increased salinity and how long I think it will take to get to that 1.025 within a convenient amount of time. We are now about 4 hours into the acclimation procedure. I'm still not registering any reading on my refractometer because its minimum value is 1.015. In theory, the freshwater is 1.00, the saltwater we're adding to that is 1.025, so if we double the water volume, that would give us half of the salt value of 1.012 or 1.013. I have noticed that the fish has begun pooping in the bucket, which I've read that is a good sign. The fish is adjusting its bowels to the higher salt content in the water. Each time it does that, we go ahead and suction that out, as that will further prevent the ammonia level from rising. As you can see here, we've taken a reading with the refractometer and have a specific gravity of 1.017. We are slowly increasing and on our way. We are officially at the 6-hour mark, and the fish looks like it is doing great. I'm really pleased so far. One thing I wanted to let you know is when I am leaving the room in between coming to check on it, I do go ahead and turn the lights off. We want to give as stress-free of an environment for the fish as we possibly can during this process. So now we're about 8 hours into the acclimation. As you can see, we have a specific gravity of 1.023. At this point, I'm going to call this molly a saltwater molly. We're still going to give it a little bit longer though. I've gone ahead and emptied half of the water. We'll go ahead and let this drip for a few more hours, and in the meantime I'll set an alarm. Once that goes off, we'll come back and check it out. Hopefully we should be really close to 1.025. And here we are, guys, the black lyre-tail saltwater molly. It's now residing in the quarantine tank, hanging out with my flame angel. It's actually working like a dither fish. My flame angel wasn't coming out very much. Now it just sees it kind of sitting there doing nothing, looking pretty worry-free. So it actually comes out and says hello.